What drives a person to commit an unthinkable act? On a crisp January morning in Tucson, Arizona, tragedy struck, leaving 6 dead and 13 injured, including a US congresswoman. But the story isn't just about what happened, it's about why. Today we're delving into the case of Jared Lee Loughner and the horrific events that shook the nation on January 8, 2011. It was a Saturday morning at the Safeway supermarket in Tucson. Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords was hosting a Congress on Your Corner event, a casual meet and greet with constituents. Families, community members, and staff gathered for what should have been a day of connection and conversation. Instead, it turned into a nightmare. Jared Lee Loughner, a 22-year-old with a history of disturbing behavior, had been spiraling into paranoia and delusion. Friends and classmates noticed his erratic actions, rambling about government conspiracies, rejecting authority, and an obsession with nonsensical ideologies. He was a ticking time bomb, and no one could predict when he'd explode. Loughner lived in Tucson with his parents and had attended Pima Community College. His behavior grew so concerning that he was eventually suspended after multiple complaints from students and teachers. Despite these red flags, no intervention stopped him from purchasing a Glock 19 handgun in November 2010. On January 8, 2011, Loughner arrived at the Safeway parking lot. Armed with his Glock and carrying extended magazines, he approached the crowd and opened fire. His first victim was Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, shot in the head at point-blank range. Chaos erupted as Loughner fired indiscriminately into the crowd. Federal Judge John M. Roll, a bystander who stopped to thank Giffords, was killed. Gabriel Zimmerman, her community outreach director, also lost his life. By the time the rampage ended, 6 were dead, including a 9-year-old girl, Christina Taylor Greene, and 13 others were injured. As Loughner attempted to reload, brave bystanders tackled him to the ground, ending the violence. He was disarmed and restrained until law enforcement arrived. The Tucson community was left reeling, and the nation demanded answers. President Obama addressed the nation, mourning the lives lost and honoring the heroes who acted selflessly. The tragedy reignited debates over gun control, mental health, and political rhetoric. Loughner faced a lengthy legal process. In the days following the attack, he was charged with multiple federal crimes, including the attempted assassination of a Congress member and the murder of federal employees. In court documents, prosecutors detailed how Loughner violated federal laws by targeting government officials while they performed their duties. The charges included violations of Title 18 U.S. Code Sections 351, C, 1114, 1111, and 1113, encompassing attempted murder, and assault of federal employees. During the proceedings, Loughner was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Initially deemed unfit to stand trial, he underwent months of treatment. In 2012, he pleaded guilty to 19 charges in exchange for avoiding the death penalty. Loughner was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The Tucson shooting left a lasting scar on the nation. Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords miraculously survived, but her injuries were life-altering. She became a symbol of resilience, advocating for gun control and inspiring millions with her recovery journey. The tragedy also led to reforms in public event security and raised awareness about mental health and the potential dangers of untreated illnesses. But for the victims' families, the pain remains ever present. What happened in Tucson wasn't just a tragedy, it was a wake-up call. It reminded us of the fragile balance between freedom and safety, and the importance of recognizing warning signs before they escalate into violence. Jared Lee Loughner's story is a harrowing example of how unchecked mental illness and access to firearms can collide with devastating consequences. What are your thoughts on the Tucson shooting? Do you think more could have been done to prevent it? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more true crime stories that dig beneath the headlines.